Beloved, the world outside is but the shadow of the world within. What you dare to claim within the sanctuary of your imagination, the outer world has no choice but to reflect. You wonder, do they think of me? Do I linger in their heart? I tell you yes, for as you decree it within, so it is established without. Their thoughts are not their own, their mind is but a mirror reflecting the image you impress. When you assume, with unwavering certainty, I am unforgettable, I am irresistible, I am the song echoing in their mind, then you have already woven yourself into the fabric of their every thought. They cannot turn away, for the law does not permit division between what is believed and what is lived without. Do not look to their silence, their absence, their delay. That is illusion. Instead, dwell in the reality you choose. I exist in them. I am the center of their attention. I am the voice in their silence, the presence in their solitude. To live in the end is to know it is already so. And as you persist in this inner knowing, you will see the inevitable. Their steps drawn to you, their words drenched with longing, their eyes unable to escape you. They cannot stay away, because you are not outside of them. You are in them, alive in their imagination, breathing in their awareness, burning in their heart. So tonight, walk as though it is done. Live as though you are already the one they cannot release. For when you know it to be true, life has no choice but to bow to your assumption. Imagination is not a child's game, nor is it a fleeting daydream. It is the very womb of creation. Everything you experience in this world, every relationship, every encounter, every gesture of love or absence of it, first began in the unseen chamber of imagination. To understand imagination is to understand the root of power itself. Your inner world is not separate from the outer one. The outer is nothing more than a projection, an echo of what you allow yourself to hold within. When you picture yourself cherished, desired, and remembered, you are not merely playing with images. You are planting seeds in the soil of consciousness. And consciousness, by law, must bear fruit. Consider this truth: their thoughts of you are not random. They are not wandering of their own accord. They are shaped by the impressions you impress upon the inner screen of imagination. If you decide that you are unforgettable, that you are magnetic, that you are the center of their focus, then your imagination clothes itself in that reality. They too must wear the garment you have fashioned. When you dare to imagine, you are no longer passive. You become the author. You command the stage of life, and all others, knowingly or unknowingly, play the roles you assign them. If you script yourself as the beloved, the one they cannot stop thinking about, the one whose voice echoes in their quiet hours, then life has no choice but to bring that script to life. Imagination is not wishful thinking. It is not fantasy. It is causation. What you imagine with conviction hardens into fact. The moment you see yourself existing in their every thought, you give birth to an unseen bond, an invisible thread, pulling their awareness back to you again and again. Many wonder, why do I feel their absence so deeply? Why do I sense their silence? The answer is this: you have been using imagination against yourself. Instead of dwelling in the end, the reality where you are loved and remembered, you have dwelt on lack, on separation, on fear. And so the outer world reflects it faithfully. Change the image within, and the outer must bow. This is the power few dare to accept. Imagination is the only reality. You need not plead, chase, or persuade. You need only to inhabit the state of being the one they cannot release. See yourself in their mind, hear your name spoken in their thoughts, feel their energy reaching for you. When you accept this inner truth, you will see evidence arise naturally. Through a call, a message, a glance, a word that confirms what you already knew. So tonight, close your eyes and enter the inner world deliberately. Imagine them as yours in thought, in feeling, in focus. Picture their heart full of you, their mind alive with you. Let that inner movie be vivid, let it be alive. And then walk in the world with quiet confidence, for you know the law: your inner world creates their thoughts of you. They cannot escape what you have already impressed upon the eternal canvas of imagination. The great secret of life is hidden in something so simple, so intimate, that most overlook it: assumption. Every moment you are assuming something about yourself. You assume you are loved or unloved, remembered or forgotten, wanted or ignored. And life, as if it were a faithful servant, reflects your assumption with perfect accuracy. This is the law of assumption. Whatever you accept as true about yourself becomes the reality others must confirm. You cannot hold the assumption of being unwanted and at the same time be treated as the beloved. You cannot live in the state of being neglected while expecting to be pursued. The outer world cannot rebel against your inner conviction. think of assumption as the invisible clothing you wear. If you assume yourself radiant, magnetic, irresistible, then you are clothed in that garment. When others encounter you, they do not see the old version of you, they only see what you are now wearing. Their words, their actions, their thoughts are compelled to align with the attire of your assumption. Do not be deceived by appearances. The world may, for a season, show you the opposite of what you desire, yet appearances are but the echo of yesterday's assumptions. Change your inner claim, persist in the new state, and watch as the outer shifts to match. If you assume that you live in their thoughts, that you are the heartbeat of their attention, then you have already written the script they must follow. They may resist in action. They may deny with words, but they cannot escape the pull of your assumption. For consciousness is not divided. What you declare within yourself ripples into their awareness. The law does not ask if your assumption is reasonable or logical. It only asks, are you dwelling in it? Are you living from it? If so, it must reflect. If you boldly claim, I am the one they cannot forget. I am the center of their affection. I am the thought that returns again and again, then this state must become visible. You need not struggle to convince them. You need not beg for signs. Assume the end. Assume the truth of what you desire, and walk as if it were already so. The law has no choice but to confirm it. Consider this: if you wake each day assuming that they are yours in thought and heart, then life will conspire to prove you right. A text will arrive, a glance will linger, a coincidence will unfold, each one a mirror of the state you have chosen. The law of assumption is impartial. It does not care whether you assume lack or abundance, rejection or love. It simply brings to life what you most deeply claim about yourself. Therefore, choose wisely. There is only one mind. It may appear that you live in a world of separate beings, each with their own private thoughts, their own private dreams, their own inner world apart from yours. But look deeper, and you will discover that consciousness is not fragmented. It is one vast living ocean, expressing itself through many forms. When you close your eyes and imagine, you are not speaking to an empty void. You are impressing upon this shared mind, the mind that connects you with all beings. The one you love, the one you long for, is not separated from you by miles, time, or circumstance. They live within this same mind, and what you plant in it is instantly communicated. This is why your inner world matters more than anything. When you impress the thought, I am remembered, I am cherished, I exist in their every breath, you are not merely affirming for yourself, you are sending ripples into the shared consciousness. These ripples reach them. They may not understand why their heart stirs or why their mind drifts toward you, but they will feel it, for they are not apart from you. The great illusion of life is separation. You see their body over there and believe they are beyond your reach. But the truth is this: there is no distance in consciousness. The same awareness that beats your heart is BS that breathes in them. To impress a thought upon yourself is to impress it upon them. To assume yourself loved is to compel them to love. Do not doubt this oneness. Test it. Imagine them speaking your name with tenderness. Imagine their hand reaching for yours. Imagine their mind returning to you again and again. Do this with conviction, and soon you will see outer confirmation. A message, a look, an unexpected encounter. These are simply signs that the shared mind has translated your inner impress into outer form. Never believe that you must force, manipulate, or chase. The outer world is not where union begins. The outer world is only the echo. Union begins within, in the stillness where you declare the truth of what already is. So when you say, they cannot stay away, I exist in their every thought, you are not casting a wish. You are acknowledging the deeper reality of oneness. You and they are not two separate minds trying to connect. You are one mind, already connected, already whole. This is why silence does not matter, why delay is meaningless, why rejection is powerless. They cannot escape you, for they are not apart from you. When you impress love, it is felt. When you assume closeness, it is lived. To live in the end is to abandon the struggle of waiting. It is to step out of longing and step into fulfillment. It is to claim here and now that the desire is already complete. You are no longer asking, no longer hoping, no longer wondering. You are living from the place where it is done. When you declare, I live in their mind, I am the constant of their thoughts, you do not wait for evidence. You embody it, you feel it. You let the sweetness of that truth saturate your being until it becomes your natural state. This is living in the end. The world has trained you to believe that you must wait for proof before you can feel secure. But the law of life is the reverse. You must first feel secure. You must first live as though it is already true. and then the proof will unfold. The outer cannot lead, it can only follow the inner. To live in the end, you walk as though you already hold their attention. You speak as though you are already cherished. You rise in the morning knowing you exist in their every thought, and you close your eyes at night certain that their heart is already bound to yours. This is not delusion, it is creation. The world outside is molded by the state you occupy within. When doubts come, when appearances suggest otherwise, you must remember appearances are but shadows of past states. Do not argue with the shadow. Stand firm in the light of your chosen reality. If you waver, you only delay. If you persist, the shadow dissolves and reveals the truth you have been living all along. Feel it real. That is the command. Imagine what you would feel if you knew beyond question that you are the one they think of constantly. Let that feeling rise in your chest. Let it move through your body. Let it anchor itself in your soul. Then carry it with you into every action of the day. When you move from that feeling, you are living in the end. The law does not care if facts disagree. The law is blind to appearances. It is faithful only to your inner state. And if your inner state is fulfillment, then fulfillment must show itself in the outer world. It is only a matter of time. So stop asking, when will they think of me? When will they return? Instead, declare, they already think of me. I already live in their heart. Their every thought returns to me, for I am the end fulfilled. Conviction is power, not the wavering wish, not the timid hope, but the inner knowing that what you claim is already yours. Conviction is the silent magnet that draws life into alignment with your assumption. It does not strain, it does not plead, it simply is. And because it is, the world cannot help but reflect it. When you hold conviction, you radiate an energy that speaks louder than words. Without uttering a sound, you impress upon others exactly who you are and how they must respond to you. If within yourself you are certain, I exist in their every thought, I am unforgettable, I am desired, then this conviction shapes the current of life, bending their awareness back toward you. Have you noticed that people are naturally drawn to those who walk with quiet confidence? It is not the loud, desperate, or forceful that captivate hearts, but those who rest in the calm certainty of who they are. Why? Because certainty needs no validation. Certainty itself is attractive. It is magnetic. Doubt repels. Conviction attracts. Doubt says, maybe someday. If only. Conviction says, it is so. It is done. And because the universe obeys the law of assumption, it bends to conviction and resists doubt. When you enter the state of inner certainty, you stop seeking proof. You no longer chase signs or beg for outcomes. Instead, you carry yourself with the knowing that it is already fulfilled. And this knowing radiates outward, silently calling to the one you desire. They may not understand why they feel compelled to think of you, why their heart stirs when your name arises, but it is your conviction that has summoned them. This pull is effortless. You do not drag them by willpower. You do not manipulate their choices. You simply assume with certainty, and certainty does the work. It is the invisible force that stirs their thoughts, awakens their longing, and directs their steps toward you. Test this for yourself. Tonight, before you sleep, sink into the stillness of conviction. Declare inwardly, they cannot stay away. I am fixed in their mind. My presence is alive within them. Feel the calm power of this truth. Do not question it, do not analyze it, simply know it. Then watch as life begins to move in your favor. Certainty is the fragrance of fulfilled desire. It does not chase, it does not beg, it rests. And in that rest, it draws all things into harmony with itself. When you live in the truth of imagination, you understand something profound. No one is separate from you. The one you love, the one you long for, cannot escape you, not because you bind them with will, not because you chase or plead, but because the law of mind makes it impossible. What is impressed upon consciousness must be expressed, and consciousness is shared. This is not force. Force belongs to the world of fear and desperation. Force demands, manipulates, and clings. But the divine law of mind is effortless. It operates in stillness, in certainty, in faith. The thoughts you plant within yourself are not locked inside you. They flow into the one mind we all share, and so they are felt by the one you desire. When you assume, I live in their thoughts, I am their constant awareness. My presence fills their heart. You are not hoping, you are not pushing against reality, you are abiding in law. And the law cannot fail. Just as the seed planted in soil must one day sprout, the idea planted in consciousness must one day manifest. They may appear to resist, they may act indifferent or distant, but appearances are powerless against law. The inner impress always wins over the outer illusion. In time, the mask of indifference will fall, and what you have declared within will be revealed without. They cannot escape you because you do not live outside of them. You live within them as they live within you. Consciousness is one. Separation is the lie of the senses, but unity is the truth of spirit. When you accept this, you stop fearing their absence. You stop doubting their silence. You know that even in the quiet, even in the distance, your presence is alive in them. This truth sets you free. You no longer chase signs, no longer grasp for proof. You know, I am inevitable in their life. My existence is etched into their every thought, not by force, but by the gentle certainty of divine law. Test it for yourself. Assume tonight that they cannot forget you, that you are the thought that returns in the stillness of their mind. Feel it real, as though it is already done. Rest in the sweetness of that truth. Then watch as life arranges itself to prove you right. A word spoken, a glance that lingers, a message that arrives at the perfect moment. This is not magic, nor is it manipulation. It is simply the law at work. Consciousness creates reality. What is impressed within must express without.